Hi everyone, my name is Terry Westbelt and today is Tuesday, which means it's time to discuss our book of the week, which is First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. So first, this is a spoiler-free section, so if you haven't read this book yet, don't worry, it won't be spoiled for you here. However, there will be some spoiler-related things that I want to discuss, but that will be later on in the video, and you will get plenty of warning. If you'd like to join in on any of the book discussions, send me your thoughts, comments, or even a short video clip of you discussing the book, then I'll list the next 4 upcoming books in the description below. I rated this book 3.75 stars. While I enjoyed it and I grew to like the characters, it just took me way too long to get into it, and I think that actually that rating might be a little bit too high for my true feelings, because while I liked the conclusion, I don't know, the book as a whole didn't exactly thrill me, which obviously for a thriller is a little disappointing. So quick summary. While at a party with her fiancé Ryan, Evie Porter is not looking for trouble, but trouble has found her. A woman approaches. She's using her name, and Evie knows that it's a warning, because Evie Porter is not her real name. It's her job. And Ryan is not her future husband, he's her target. And this woman showing up can only mean one thing. Her employer is watching. One mistake and she's dead. To save herself and escape her employer for good, Evie must set the last perfect trap, which means using herself as bait. If I had to compare this to any other book, it would probably be something like Counterfeit or The Satsuma Complex. I think much like these books, it's built on this great ending, but as far as the thriller element goes, it's kind of a slow burn. You know, it built a bigger picture through events in the present, as well as a few chapters here and there in the past. And to be fair, it did build to a climax and to an ending that I didn't see coming. I do think it was a great ending. It just took me forever to get there. From the beginning, I really didn't care all that much about the characters, and I don't know, I didn't really find it particularly suspenseful, but then in the last, 30% or so, it really started to pick up, and I find myself genuinely curious as to what the hell was going on. The chapter lengths varied quite a bit. I think they were anywhere between a 10 and a 20-minute read, but there were some chapters that were not only set in a completely different time and location, but also with a completely different alias as well. Usually I hate that sort of thing. I think too often it can be messy and overly complicated. It can be hard to follow, but I think actually despite all of that, despite the fact that you had to follow not only when you were, but who, the author did a really good job of making it clear and concise. Like, it was still really easy to read and follow without having a ton of information thrown at you. To be honest, I think I mostly picked this book up because I don't actually have a ton of thrillers on my TBR at the moment, so if you do have any recommendations, then please let me know. But also, it was a nominee for readers' favourite mysteries and thrillers on Goodreads. I'm not sure whose favourite, but unfortunately it just wasn't one of mine, and perhaps it being somehow associated with Reese Witherspoon's book club has something to do with it. I can see this book doing really well as a film or a TV show. It's not that I didn't enjoy it, it's just that, there wasn't enough to keep me invested early on. As I said, in the last 30% or so, I was hooked, but I think that's why I found this book so hard to review, because while I did enjoy it, for a lot of it, I was also quite bored. So as for the question, would I recommend the book? Probably not, just because it wasn't really for me. There are definitely other thrillers that I would recommend first. Will I be reading any more by Ashley Elston? I wouldn't say no. I liked the writing style and the overall story. I think I'd just hope that I didn't have the same issue again with pacing. I have no clue what I'm planning to do with my makeup. As usual, I am winging it, and this one is certainly being a trust the process kind of moment. Anyway, as I said earlier, we will reach a point where there'll be spoiler warnings. This is that moment, so if you haven't read this book yet, I would suggest going doing that first, because beyond this point there'll definitely be spoilers. From the very beginning, I really didn't care about any of the characters or what they were doing. It sort of felt like we were introduced to a bunch of random characters that were really irrelevant and not needed. Like, I get why, it just felt like more than it realistically needed, and I don't feel like it would have taken anything away from the book if it had had any less. It was kind of an odd book, but I liked the concept, this secret agent who, by the end, has fallen in love and can live a free life away from her old one. It's not exactly a new concept, but the book did have some of its own unique spins on it, including the big dramatic twist at the end. I'm not really sure what else to say about this one. I mean, maybe if I'd have read it as a physical book instead, I would have enjoyed it more, but then I think it was also nominated as Reader's Favourite Audiobook of 2024 on Goodreads as well, so I think I'm going to have to finish this look and then come back. So let me know what you thought. Did you enjoy the book? Next week we're discussing Flawless by Elsie Silver. So don't forget to get your thoughts and comments in by Sunday the 23rd of February at the latest to be a part of the discussion. You can now do this on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram or Discord. The following week will be Six of Crows, but don't forget if you do need a little bit longer to read a book, we do now list the next 4 books down below, along with the discussion dates. That way you can choose a genre that best suits you, and the best time frame to read it in. Thank you all for watching, and if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, it's always appreciated, and I will see you next week. Bye! If you like romance, fantasy, or even thriller, basically anything fiction book related, then I suggest you head on over to the channel's intro video, where you can find out more information on how you can take part in this online book club. We announce books at least 4 weeks in advance, and we accept your bookish feedback in a wide manner of ways. Post your comment below a video, send in a voice note, or even send in a short video clip of you discussing the book. Alternatively, you can just send me a direct message.